They say when a king forgets his crown, even the palace walls begin to tremble. Tonight, the kingdom of love trembles again, and Nigeria watches with widened eyes at this moment. Because somewhere between heartbreak, fame, and spiritual warfare, Two-Face Idibia stands like a man caught in the middle of a raging storm, with one woman fighting for control, another one waiting with tears, and an entire family screaming for help at this moment. But who truly needs saving? Two-Face, the women, or us watching this tragedy unfold? My people, I want you to tighten your seatbelts. What you are about to hear is a story where love becomes prison, loyalty becomes weapon, and marriage becomes a battleground. Welcome to the continuation of Two-Face marriage crisis, where nothing is as it seems, and the question remains, who will rescue the legend from himself? So, in the midst of Nigeria's rising uproar, whispers have turned to thunder. Two-Face Idibia is allegedly finding his way back to Annie Macaulay, as is being rumored in some quarters right now, amidst the plethora of challenges going on in his current marriage. Yes, you heard me well. That same Annie Idibia and Annie Macaulay. Okay, of course, I know he just changed the name now. A few hours of a day ago, he just changed the name from Annie Macaulay to Annie Idibia. So if you hear me interchanging those names, just forgive me, because she herself has just changed it from Macaulay to Idibia. So like I said, Two-Face is allegedly finding his way back to Annie Macaulay. That is what the rumor mill is saying. Even though some of the events that are happening do not show that, do not indicate that. But again, when these rumors spill out like this, we begin to wonder, and sometimes some of these things cannot just be coincidence. How is it possible that Annie Macaulay has decided, in the middle of this thing that is happening, has now decided to change the name back to Annie Idibia? We'll come back to that. So the one who endured, the one who cried, excuse me, the one who forgave and never stopped loving him, that is Annie Idibia right there. So people mocked her loyalty, but perhaps the mockery was premature from this rumor that is coming out right now. Because insiders swear the conversations are real, not hypothetical, not imagined. Real deep discussions are happening between Annie Idibia and the father of her tears and her joy. That's what is going on. And just when the public thought Annie Idibia had finally moved on, she switched her name back to Annie Idibia, like I said. And a lot of people are wondering, how is it possible that from nowhere, no clue, no nothing, this woman, after all the pains, she will just change the name to Idibia? Something has to be there. Something has to be there. And this is what is giving credence to that rumor that there is a plan, for Two-Face to go back to his first love. Okay? And just when the public thought Annie had moved on finally, like I said, she immediately switched her name back to Annie Idibia. And this time she added one, Annie Idibia 1. That's a big one right there. Right in the middle of chaos that is happening with Baba. Can this be coincidence? I doubt it. Nigerians are even doubting it, not just me. That kind of name shift does not come from impulse. It comes from instruction, invitation, maybe even reconciliation in motion or in disguise. And Annie, who once vowed never to give up, seems ready to welcome him back, if all the stories we are hearing at this time are true. It shocked everybody, I tell you. The thing shocked even me. When I went to her page to see that, I was like, where is this coming from? Until I was able to grapple with this rumor that is making the rounds that they plan to come back together. Who knows? Perhaps it's even Two-Face that said, okay, you know what? Put your name back. Put my name back. You never can tell how this thing works. Yet, while the members of one marriage glow, Okay, the flames of another turn out completely out of control. So Natasha, the once adored person or wife, is now being feared. She stands at the center of this whirlwind right now. Two-Face family is not whispering anymore. They are now shouting and they are now taking action. Our brother needs help, they claim. His own brother Hyacinth publicly reached out. The family has petitioned the Inspector General of Police, excuse me, alleging the following things: domestic violence, forceful control, seizure of travel documents, bigamy, and emotional imprisonment. Well, for those of you who are very familiar with what is going on between these two people, you will realize that all the things they've listed here are not far from the truth. Meanwhile, Natasha fires back, boldly, aggressively, appearing in videos with a tone that reeks of defiance, arrogance, and thunderous disrespect. No remorse, no respect, no restraint. And Two-Face, he comes out in shaky videos, asking Nigerians to cease fire, insisting every marriage has issues. But great partner, the eyes don't lie. Like I said, the eyes don't lie. Okay? The eyes, they don't lie. His body language screamed fear. His speech wobbled. He looked like a shadow being made to defend its captor. Now let's pause. Is this love or is this slavery disguised as marriage? Because if you look at these videos very well, if you look at the video of two Baba, you just see someone that gives this vibe of a captured slave. I'm sorry, but that is what I see. No confidence, very low self-esteem and everything. Because there's a Nigerian proverb that says, when a goat is missing, we don't search in the lion's den unless someone carried it there. Abi? And now we are forced to ask the question, did Natasha really do what she is accused of? Because these allegations are many. And amongst all of them, that bigamy that I heard there, that's a big one. If indeed that is true. Don't forget that before now, we've heard of airport scuffles, club altercations, UK police arrests, assault allegations, public disrespect, finances allegedly hijacked, travel documents allegedly seized. We heard of that report from the Two-Face management team who confirmed that Two-Face's account is being controlled by Natasha. Man, that's really a sad one there. This is not to say that when two people are married, that the wife or the husband cannot have some measure of control in their account of finances. But what we are saying here is not that sort of thing. This is an account, according to the ex-manager. She forcefully took over these accounts, and monies are withdrawn every time, most time without Two-Face knowledge. There was this time that he said Two-Face wanted to send 1 million naira to his son in school in Abuja. Yeah, I think if I'm not wrong, it should be Abuja. That Natasha stopped it, without taking cognizance of the fact that that innocent boy might need that money urgently. So if that is the sort of control we are told about, then that is extremely undeserving and disrespectful. Okay? So if these things are even half truth, all the things they've listed, if they're even half truth, then this is not love, I tell you. It is captivity. Pure captivity. His staff, close associates, and blood family cannot all be delusional at the same time. Yes, all of them cannot be wrong at the same time. People who have seen him off camera are saying, before something sinister happens, somebody must rescue him. But here is the paradox in all of this. The person who needs rescue may not believe he needs it. We have seen it before. victims defending abusers, broken hearts calling poison medication. Okay? Now the family petition lands before the police. Bigamy allegations sit boldly on the list. A crime with serious legal implications. If proven, Natasha may be facing a destiny-changing battle because law not a pity celebrity ego, right? And yet, beneath the noise is a deeper question. Does Two-Face even want help? This is what some people have been asking. Does Two-Face even want that help? He says he's an adult. He says everyone should mind their business. But then you look at him again, eyes dim, voice shaky, soul wandering, and you know this is a man battling the battlefield of his heart. Sometimes the greatest enemy is not the antagonist, but the silence of the victim too. A victim that is too afraid to cry is another thing. And so we return to Annie in this conversation again. The love people mocked may now become the lifeline he desperately needs right now. Her voice is rising again. Her presence is felt again. And perhaps, just perhaps, destiny is circling back to reclaim what was stolen. And each time I look at this story of Two-Face and Natasha, what comes to my mind is what is going on between Edochie and MayEdochie on one hand and Juju Austin on the other hand. You know, there's so much similarity, and I think one of these days I'm going to do a video on Judy Austin, on Edochie and Two-Face Baba, because their cases they are very similar in many ramifications. We might be looking at that in our subsequent videos, okay? Because Edochie is alleged to be begging to go back, and now we are hearing this rumor that Two Baba is programming himself to also go back. I haven't gone astray. That is both of them. So there's a lot of similarity there, and we may come back to that very soon. And so, like I said, we return back to Annie. The love people mocked may now become the lifeline Two-Face desperately needs at the moment. Her voice is rising again, like I said. Her presence is being felt again. And perhaps, just perhaps, destiny is cycling back to reclaim what was stolen from her. So Nigeria watches. Fans are praying. Commenters have started war in all comment sections. But the truth remains wrapped in mystery. Who will save Two-Face or Two Baba? His wife? Is it his wife? Is it his ex-wife? Is it his family? Or even himself? These are the questions that are reverberating all over the social media space at the moment. Because if a man refuses rescue, salvation becomes hostage. And as our elders say, you can carry water to the horse, but you cannot force it to drink it. Yes, that's the sad reality. Yet this story teaches us that fame is not freedom. Excuse me. Yet this story teaches us something. That fame is not freedom. Marriage is not immunity. And love without peace is a curse. As the petition moves through the police desk and public opinion courts, one thing is certain, my people. Nigeria has not heard the last chapter of this marriage war. Something bigger is coming. Something deeper is going to unfold. And we pray, we really pray for the legends' healing, for truth to surface, and for peace to prevail. But until then, we ask one more time, who will rescue Two-Face from himself? When the drum of war sounds in the bedroom, the village will always dance, but only the couple knows who bleeds. This is not just a celebrity scandal. It is a tragic lesson that evil kings can lose their kingdom when love becomes a battlefield. We pray for clarity, justice, peace, Because no matter how loud the crowd is, every man must face his truth alone. Yes, alone. Until the next chapter comes our way, Nigeria waits and the drums continue to beat on. What do you think about this story that is coming up at this time? Please feel free to go to the comment section and leave your thoughts right there. And hopefully yours sincerely will meet you right there to take this conversation further. God bless you. I'll be right back. Bye-bye.